Ancient humans had a pretty serious problem for a while, which was basically everything wanted to eat them. Not metaphorically, just literally. Like if you dropped a modern person into East Africa 200,000 years ago, they'd probably spend the first 10 minutes going, wow, nature is beautiful, and then get dragged into some bushes by an animal built like a forklift with teeth. And the honest part is that humans are not physically impressive animals at all. We like to think humans became the dominant species because of intelligence, tool-making, and cooperation. But for a very long time, we were basically just anxious meat, standing upright in ecosystems full of things that could kill a buffalo for exercise. A grown chimpanzee can tear your fingers off without really trying that hard. A leopard can carry a dead antelope up a tree. Hyenas casually crush bones like breadsticks. Meanwhile, humans evolved, jogging, pretty much. This may sound fake, but that was one of our main survival traits for a while. Just weird, sweaty endurance. Not immediately useful against a lion, obviously. If a lion catches you, you still become lion food. There's no amount of cardio that changes that outcome. But humans were very good at moving long distances without overheating. A lot of predators are built for short, violent effort. Humans, on the other hand, are not built that way. Early humans spent huge portions of their lives terrified, the kind where every dark patch of grass might contain a thing that eats faces. Because unlike modern humans, they couldn't just go inside. There was no inside. People talk about cavemen constantly, but caves were not standard housing. Most humans didn't live in caves very often, because caves are also where predators live. Walking into a cave in prehistoric times was basically rolling dice against several thousand pounds of irritated carnivore. Oh, nice shelter. No! Leopard apartment. Archaeologists find layers where humans occupied caves temporarily, then predators occupied them again later, then humans came back. So it wasn't really ownership, so much as rotational tenancy with murder cats. And ancient predators were worse than modern ones in some ways. Not necessarily bigger, but there were more of them. Huge hyenas, saber-toothed cats, massive crocodiles, short-faced bears in some regions, packs of wolves, big eagles stealing children occasionally. And frankly speaking, birds do not get enough attention in prehistoric discussions. Large birds are deeply unsettling animals. There's something wrong about being hunted by a creature with feathers. Like, that's not how this is supposed to go. Anyway, the question is how humans survived this long enough to become humans as we know now. Most early humans died young. That's just what the conditions were. Disease, injury, starvation, cold, something trying to eat you, all running simultaneously. If you actually made it to adulthood, you could have a long lifespan. It's just that getting to adulthood was the part that killed most people. And this makes sense because children are slow, loud, and shaped like food. Human babies are just useless compared to other mammals. A newborn horse stands up immediately. A human baby, on the other hand, can barely hold its own head steady. Evolution basically decided, large brain now, functionality later. So humans did what humans do. They grouped up, and that turned out to be the whole ballgame. A lone human in prehistoric environments is vulnerable. A group of humans becomes extremely annoying to deal with. Predators usually prefer easier prey. They don't want fair fights. So even dangerous predators often hesitate around coordinated groups making noise and throwing objects. And throwing stuff mattered a lot, actually. Humans are weirdly good at throwing things. Our shoulders, hips, tendons, and overall body mechanics evolved partially around projectile throwing. Humans can throw hard and accurately over long distances better than basically any other animal. Which sounds less impressive until you imagine getting hit in the skull with a sharpened rock from 30 feet away by 12 screaming primates working together. At some point, predators started realizing humans were becoming more trouble than they were worth. Not harmless, just irritatingly dangerous. There's a theory that humans became apex predators partly through persistence hunting, where groups would chase animals over huge distances until the prey overheated and collapsed. Humans sweat very efficiently. Most mammals don't. So as an antelope is sprinting and overheating, a human can keep jogging after it for hours in the sun, non-stop. Imagine being hunted by something that just walks toward you, doesn't sprint, doesn't stop, just keeps coming. That's its own kind of frightening, and predators experienced humans the same way eventually. Not physically dominant at first, but persistent, cooperative, increasingly armed, and willing to come back with more of them. Fire changed everything. Humans without fire are vulnerable prey animals with good teamwork. Humans with fire become different. Fire extended sleeping time and provided protection against predators. It strengthened social bonds too. There's also something deeply intimidating about an animal carrying controlled sunlight. I mean, from the predator perspective, you're a leopard. You've successfully evolved for millions of years. Silent movement, night vision, efficient killing mechanics. Then suddenly, the hairless monkeys invent portable stars. That's a hard adjustment when you think of it. Though early fire use was probably inconsistent for a long time, people sometimes imagine ancient humans immediately mastering fire after discovering it, but realistically, there were periods where groups lost access to it, which was totally embarrassing. Does anybody know how to relight this? No. And then everybody freezes to death. Humans were not always at the top of the food chain even after developing tools. There's evidence of predators hunting humans well into relatively advanced periods of prehistory. Leopards, especially, were a constant headache. They eat basically anything they can overpower. They drag prey into trees to keep it away from other predators. Archaeologists found human remains with big cat tooth marks on them, just sitting there in the fossil record, evidence that something ate a person, and that was just a thing that happened. So, somewhere in prehistory, there was probably a guy who survived disease, famine, migration, tribal conflict, and then got eaten because he walked too close to the wrong tree at night. Bad luck. Hyenas may also have followed human groups regularly, not necessarily attacking constantly, but scavenging near camps, stealing remains, maybe taking vulnerable individuals. And prehistoric hyenas were bigger. Modern hyenas are already the kind of animal that feels like a mistake. They look wrong, they move wrong, that sound they make. Now scale that up. There's also evidence humans altered sleep patterns because of predation risk. And this actually explains a lot about modern humans. People naturally wake during the night often. Historically, that may have been useful because somebody in the group was usually semi-awake, watching for threats. Sleep wasn't supposed to be 8 uninterrupted hours in a sealed room. That's a modern invention. Ancient nights were horrifying. No streetlights, no walls, weird noises everywhere, eyes reflecting firelight outside camp, something moving beyond visible range, and your brain does the rest. Because once humans developed language well enough, they could now describe dangers to each other in detail. So not only are predators real, but now there's also a guy near the fire explaining exactly how his cousin got dragged off by something near the river 3 years ago. Eventually, humans crossed some threshold where predators stopped viewing us primarily as prey and started viewing us as competition. Humans became increasingly difficult to attack. Spears got better, coordination improved, traps developed, larger social groups formed. They got better at passing things down. What worked, what didn't, where the dangerous trees were, etc., etc. And once humans started actively hunting large predators back, the relationship changed permanently. Because most animals couldn't sustain losses against organized tool users. A lion can kill a human easily. A lion cannot kill 20 humans with spears who already know it's nearby. That's a different equation. But honestly, humans still carry traces of all this old fear. People are instinctively uncomfortable with certain sounds and darkness. We react strongly to eye contact from predators. Children fear hidden animals without needing much instruction. A surprising number of humans are still afraid of large cats despite rarely encountering them, which makes sense historically because for a very long time, being insufficiently nervous around large cats removed you from the gene pool completely. Evolution tends to reinforce lessons like that. So the short answer is ancient humans survived being hunted through cooperation, endurance, tools, fire, communication, and gradual increases in collective intelligence. The longer answer is that they barely survived for a while.